everybody, and welcome to another episode of Andrew's Theories, the video series that I started not too long ago, where I try to figure out possibilities, theories about shows that I watch, things that are happening around the world, or what have you. And this time, I got an interesting theory. This is one that Nat Pat would probably even salivate over. Yeah, when he's not busy making up lies about stuff. I mean, okay, you can fact check the crap all you want, but I'm still calling BS on your We Found Springfield film theory video, pal. I'm still calling BS on that. And the reason why I'm calling BS on that is actually part of my theory. Because, let's face it, The Simpsons has been a popular show since it debuted. Hell, they're over 600 episodes into this, and it doesn't look like they're planning to slow down anytime soon. It's one of the very few shows out there that can actually utilize the entire concept of the world around you as script. And that I find amazing. But here's my theory. Is it possible? Is it plausible that Springfield, the Springfield that the Simpsons are in, is a different dimension? And that each and every week, it's a different dimension that they go to. Now, I'd like to give some evidence if I can on this. First off, let's think about it. Now, in order for this to be true, we'll need some type of fixed central point. We'll use Homer. The reason why I want to use Homer is because of a few episodes that I can basically name as examples of. In one episode, Homer rattles off his entire list of jobs, including Mr. Plow and a few others, the bowling guy and everything else. Though some are technically taken off and not added, meaning that maybe that dimension's Homer didn't do those, and the Homer that we know basically gathered the memories of said Homer. Or he just forgot because he is kind of on the dim-witted side. But anyway, let's think about it this way. Every single time Springfield can change its location because it needs to. One time it could be driving distance to the shore. One time it could be close to the mountains. One time it could be all the way near Mardi Gras. And another time it could be close to Canada. All of this basically leads me to wonder, is it possible that there's different dimensions? Let's use Sliders here as an example. That was a really interesting / crappy science fiction show where they basically traveled to parallel Earths. Each Earth was slightly different than the last. So in one, there could be an Earth where everything's basically the same, but Springfield is now close to the shore. Or everything's the same, but New York doesn't exist. Things like that. Add on week after week after week, which would explain why the family really has no memory of the adventures that happened beforehand. Or if they do, it's just small fragments of it. Because let's think about it. If the dimension is what we think it is, and it's encompassing the entire family, if not just Homer, then the family itself would not know about anything else around them. Or they're gaining the memories of the people that they're taking. Like Marge is getting the memories of the Marge from that dimension, so on and so forth. By basically swapping roles and swapping locations. Now, it is possible, though I also have to admit, highly improbable. But let's face it. If you eliminate the impossible, whatever's left, no matter how improbable, has to be the truth. And in this case, let's wonder it for a moment. Is it possible that Springfield could be in a different dimension? Is it possible that every single week for the last 20-some years, the Simpsons have been traveling to different dimensions each and every week? The only consistent episode that we know of was the two-parter Who Shot Mr. Burns? The reason why is because that episode is the only one that actually has similarities to the episode before it. So that existed in the same dimension. But then there are episodes that happened prior to or after that, which has stuff that happened in episodes prior to the episode that's even airing. In one episode, we saw what was left of the monorail in Springfield. And in another episode, the monorail doesn't exist, meaning that the shading guy never came there from either North Havenbrook, Oxdale, or whatever the other one was. So they basically figured out a way to not get the monorail and spent the money on something else. Or an episode where Marge maybe didn't get the boob job by accident when she went in for liposuction. The entirety of The Simpsons itself is hinging upon just one thing. And like I said, my theory is that maybe there's just multiple dimensions, and that's what we've been watching. Each week's a different dimension, and we just don't realize it. We don't realize that the Simpsons are traveling through a different dimension. Now, I know what you're saying. You're getting your keywords and going, now, I'm not making any sense. But if I can, let me quote one more show for you. Doctor Who. In the Series 2 David Tennant episode of Doctor Who, when him, Rose Tyler, and Mickey Smith fell into a pocket dimension where basically there was a parallel Earth. They were trapped there because the TARDIS couldn't function until the Doctor managed to find the one piece of the TARDIS that was still powered up and exchanged 10 years of his life to fully charge it. Now, to me, it does seem possible. What has been the one thing that the family constantly stops at and constantly sits on in every single opening? The couch. So, my theory, ladies and gentlemen, still holds water if you think about it. The family uses the couch, or at least Homer does anyway, because I'm still going with Homer, but I could include the family in this, to basically travel to different dimensions each and every week. That would help make sense for a lot of the stuff that happens around them, like the mountains, the positions of Springfield, where it could even be, not to mention a lot of stuff that happens around them. I mean, Homer himself even explained in his song about him walking all over the place that he could go from Springfield to Turkmenistan or hang out with the stars in Malibu. So it is simple and possible to think that it is an alternate dimension where those places could be closer. Granted, they showed a map and it was larger, but still, it could be closer. We don't know. They could be using a map from Homer's dimension and not the map of the dimension that Homer's currently in. So, I know it's a far-stretched theory, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think The Simpsons are taking place, each episode takes place in an alternate parallel dimension? Or do you think that it's basically the same place and I'm just going crazy? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you hated the video, and I'll catch you next time here on Andrew's Theories.